Section 6.4 Elimination. How do you use the elimination method when you are not given opposites? All right. Use the elimination to solve the system of equations. So we need to make opposites in this system because we don't have them right now. Remember, opposites make 0. So 2 and negative 2, 3 and negative 3, 4 and negative 4. So that's what we're trying to create. We are close to having opposites with these 4s, but in order for them to make 0, one of them needs to be negative. 4 and 4 would make 8 right now. We need one of them, we need it to make 0. So in order to do that, I'm going to take one of the equations and times everything by negative 1. As long as you times everything by the same number, that's allowed. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. 28 times negative 1 is negative 28. Then I'm going to cross off the top equation because I'm not using it anymore. I've gotten rid of it. Now I know I did this first step right if I have opposites, which I do, 4 and negative 4. So negative 3 and negative 2 make negative 5. 18 minus 28 is negative 10. Divide both sides by negative 5. And I have y equals 2. Then I always take what I end up with and I put it back in my first equation. Really, you can put it in any one you want, but I always just do the first one, just to do the same thing every time and be consistent. So we are solving for our other variable. So 4x plus 4 equals 28. Subtract 4 on both sides. Divide both sides by 4, and we have x equals 6. So our solution to this system is 6, 2. All right, so 5x plus 6y equals negative 8, and 2x plus 3y equals negative 5. So on this one, we don't have opposites right away, so we have to figure out how to create opposites. 2 cannot go into 5 evenly, so I wouldn't use the x's. 3 can go into 6 evenly though. So the opposite of 6 is negative 6. So we want to turn this 3 into a negative 6. So I'm going to do that by timesing the entire bottom equation by negative 2. Then I'll cross off the equation I just multiplied, and I'm going to see if I have opposites. 6 and negative 6 are opposites, so I'm going to get rid of those. 5 minus 4 is 1x, or x. Negative 8 and 10 make 2. So x is 2. I'm going to plug 2 into my first equation. 5 times 2 plus 6y equals 8. 10 plus 6y equals 8. Minus 10 on both sides. 6y equals negative 2. Something went wrong here. 5 times 2 plus 6y, equals negative 8. There we go. So negative 8 and negative 10, there we go. Make negative 18. So if you ever end up with a decimal, that's kind of your red flag that something went wrong. That's how I knew I did something wrong. So then my solution is 2, negative 3. All right, third one. Once again, we are not given opposites, so we have to make them. Can negative 2 go into 6 evenly? Yes, it can. In order to do the opposite of 6, I need negative 6, so I'm going to times this top equation by 3. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 1 is 3. Cross off my top equation. I know I did this correctly if I made opposites, which I did. Negative 11 and 15 is 4. 1 and 3 is 4. Divide both sides by 4. And we have y equals 1. Take 1 and plug it into our first equation. So negative 2x plus 5 times 1 equals 1. Negative 2x plus 5 equals 1. Subtract 5 on both sides. Divide both sides by -2, and I have x equals 2. So the solution is 2. All right, last one. 3 can go into 9 evenly. The opposite of 9 is -9. So I need to times 3 by -3. So 3 times -3 is -9. -3 times 2 is -6. -3 times -4 is 12. I know I did this correctly because I have opposites. Y and -6y make -5y. 13 and 12 make 25. Divide both sides by -5, and I have y equals -5. Take -5 and plug it into my first equation. 9x minus 5 equals 13. Add 5 on both sides. 9x equals 18. Divide both sides by 9, and I have x equals 2. So 2, -5 is my solution. Summary.